Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Adam Lee here, and today, you know, this isn't really a planned live stream once again. And my last video I did about 3 weeks ago, I asked you guys, what should I do because the popularity for GTA 5 was falling down quite significantly, and there's this whole uprising of, Red Dead Redemption 2, which I do own, and I have shared in that previous video. I have beat the storyline, and it's really a compelling story. It's really good. I recommend playing it if you haven't already. But I asked you if I should either continue on with the GTA 5 antics or find a way with Red Dead 2, and then I uploaded the video, and then lo and behold, YouTube named it exactly what the PlayStation said instead of what I did on the YouTube Creator app. And so it just said Adam Lee live, and it was live, but it wasn't a titled video like I intended. So it kind of threw people off, and then I didn't quite get the feedback that I'm really looking for. So here we are 3 weeks later, and because of all that, I have done my own thinking about, well, what can I really do? And the thing is I thought about it, and I think it'd be nice, in videos past, 3 years ago, I had started referencing my time as a mystery hunter, but I didn't really go into detail, and I thought for you guys today, that is exactly what I'll do. I will reflect to you guys how I got involved, who I was involved with, who was I talking to, and the future and how things have unfolded. So to start out, on YouTube, I wasn't really a YouTuber. I had in the past, but it wasn't really my contribution. It was just more of me as a voice commentary, guest, and then I had done the whole uploading, the pictures by accident, and then, when I was playing with the YouTube editor app, I had my Facebook picture memes, and then I created a video, and then I was like, this whole Mount Chiliad phenomenon that had been taking place on YouTube has really captivated my interest, and I really want to get involved with it. And so I didn't quite know how. How could I get involved? And at the time, Danny Coldblood, aka Music Vidiot, had just posted a video at the time about the spider webs, and he was talking about how the Galileo Observatory in this game could correlate to it. And he was noticing there could be some spiderweb patterns at the time, and I was trying to point out a few things about the patterns that are on the doors of the observatory when you get up there. And so I had attempted to get a hold of Danny quite a few times. I tried on Facebook on the Music Video Facebook page. Then I just tried in the comment section below, and the YouTube videos. And finally, I got a chance to talk to him. And when I talked to him, I went over what I was talking about, and then there and behold, I had came across a pedestrian that you can interact with. And, with Danny on the line, on my headset, I was like, Danny, I just found this guy. He's talking a lot about the patterns in the sky. He's talking about a lot of things. This guy is very significant, and I think we need to talk about this guy. And he's like, well, and he told me, this was your find. Go ahead and start talking about him. Why don't you make the video? I can make a guest appearance on it, and we can just do it. We can just do it raw, we can do the video, and, we go like that. So, at the time, my PlayStation setup wasn't as nearly as nice as what it is today. Back then, I had a corded razor wire headset that attached to the PlayStation. It didn't have a mic on or off button. My on and off button was just unplugging the headset from the PlayStation, and that's how he turned off the headset. You know, that was how janky this headset was that I used to have. And it really was affecting my audio as my channel progressed, until I eventually, you know, invested into the USB wireless headsets. But anyway, so I did the video with him, and I posted it. And from there, you know, seeing the initial reactions that, you know, I was getting, it just inspired a whole new bug. A bug of, you know, intriguement, excitement, and captivating. And, you know, at the time, I was kind of looking for a social distraction, you know, because, you know, I had later in the past, I had expressed, you know, I'm going through things, I'm going through some things, and then eventually told you guys what was happening. I didn't tell you the severity of it until well after the reflection of a year ago of my announcement, when I did the 1 year anniversary announcement video, and how my life had gotten better and how I was healthy, but you guys didn't really know that I was dying. And so at the time, you know, I told Danny, you know, I'm going through some things, but I didn't go through the severity of it. Okay, because, you know, number one, I didn't want my YouTube channel to gain boost of popularity by guilt tripping. And I didn't want a stigma attached to my name in the YouTube community. I wanted people to genuinely experience my channel for pure joy versus out of empathy. And, you know, on YouTube, you have to be very careful with it. You know, and some people, you know, in the past, they had, you know, expressed little empathy stories. You know, we can name several people, but they did it out of wanting the attention. And I didn't want to be that person, so I put it bare minimum, small reference, not even an emphasis on it, that I was just going through things. So as we went on, I had developed this friendship with Danny Coldblood, you know, and he really helped me as a YouTuber. I mean, I had credited him so many times, and I still have him featured as a featured channel on my YouTube channel. And, you know, he told me what I needed, the setup things I needed, and I had a nice laptop at the time I was using, and from there, it just kind of blossomed. You know, the Mount Chiliad Mystery experience was one very unique one at that, because, you know, as you're collaborating with, you know, I was mainly collaborating with Danny, and through Danny, I was really introduced to the bigger, well-known Mount Chiliad Mystery Hunter community members that were contributing videos, you know, like Fearless Force. And then I was introduced to, you know, Wispy Woods and Herbalist 40, if you even remember Herbalist 40. He didn't even have videos anymore. Kim F was initially my subscriber. He was a genuine fan of me before he started making his own videos. He was inspired by me. He shared something with me that he wanted me to make a video about, and I just couldn't, or I couldn't, and I didn't have the time to make a video about it. And then he finally just up and made the video about it, and it gave him the same bug, so it worked out. But I was just introduced to all these unique people, and some of the smaller ones, and then I was kind of noticing a very big trend as a Mount Chiliad community member. You know, so basically, I made a video about this. It caused me to make a video about the problems with the Mount Chiliad Mystery. And then I'll go from there. So I made a video because I noticed that there was a bunch of things going on at the time where there was multiple new discoveries going on. We were well beyond where we were at the point where the game was out for 3 years. It was almost 3 years, and we were still finding things in this game that were brand new discoveries that people haven't found before, and so like myself, I had found a brand new discovery of the game that was of big significance, and I didn't just stop with one. I found two really big things, and then I found the NPC that you could interact with. I had my contributions to the mystery that kind of helped people point them in the right direction. And so there was a lot of politicking within the community, especially certain individuals that were withholding it until they made the video because they wanted the credit for it. And, to a sense, I can understand the mind mentality of that because, if you do share your information with other people as a hunter, that person might stab you in the back and steal your discovery credit, your credit for the discovery. And it wasn't just about the credit for the discovery. It was a big popularity contest because at the time we had Whizzle and we had Trippy Commentaries who were nearing and approaching 100,000 subscribers, which they both have surpassed. We'll get to those two eventually, but at the time they were nearing that mountaintop of the big status of YouTube. When you get to 100,000+ subscribers, you get the silver play button and you get more recognized by YouTube. And considering what your content is, like GTA 5 was the content, Rockstar Games, the people who make the video games, they reach out and they share care packages and gifts and everything with those significant big YouTube channels. And so people were kind of politicking for the popularity of it because they wanted to get as big as they were getting. There was a lot of bad apples within the community to decipher through. I can name a few, and I don't want to single them out. But there were people in it because, for one, they wanted to kind of disprove the theory of a jetpack in the game. And they also wanted to distract other people who were their viewers away from that. And they wanted to discredit the credibility of a mystery. And, skepticism and doubtfulness and wanting to investigate to prove your theory is one thing, but doing it with the intent of purely misleading people like they were is totally wrong. They just kind of chase you down a rabbit hole. And that's basically where they ended down the road, is down a rabbit hole. So I had made a video about this, and it captivated the attention of a big YouTuber, Fearless Force. And if you remember that video, it was the problems with Mount Chiliad Mystery with Fearless Force, and I had outreach of, an uprising YouTuber, GTA 5 Decoders, who was getting bigger in popularity. He was in the hundreds like me, but he was getting a little bit bigger. And, we all just wanted to work together, and that was the call that I was making for people, was the call for unity. Now, as a community, it was one thing, but, when you talk about, in general, what is it like? What does it wear on you personally? it kind of stresses you out because you're trying to do all your research, you're trying to do the groundbreaking work so people don't have to, because a lot of the people, their intentions were to just get credit, and they wanted to make you wait months. And so what I was doing was I was doing months of research, months of intensiveness of studying every little thing that Rockstar Games was trying to do. And I'll present those videos, and it was stressful to try to meet those deadlines because I didn't really know if I was right, and I wanted to double check and cross check myself as a person, if I was right or wrong, so it kind of wears on you personally. And then when you deal with the stress that is within the hunter community, there's a lot of added extra stress because you kind of talk about what you're dealing with and what you're finding, and they didn't really support that. They didn't really support what you're going through. It was just expected of you to do it. So anyway, there were throughout the time, throughout the years after that video, Fearless and all that, we did the little Unity thing. Nothing really came about it. Nothing came about it, and we were expressing our concerns, and no one was just being empathetic. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that my call for Unity failed. It failed. And I think that's why, to this day, the Mount Chiliad Mystery has not been solved. Because the overall goal for some of the bad apples were they wanted to be the one single person to solve the Mount Chiliad Mystery. And if you realize the vastness of this game and how intricate this game is, you can't do it by yourself. It is going to take a big team. And considering that they incorporated things in this game that go outside of the average Joe knowledge, you're going to need a lot of people. You're going to do a lot of research, and you're going to need more than just one person solving this mystery. It's going to take an entire team. And not everybody wanted to do it. Now, personally, I was going from enjoying making these videos because, it was fun, it was thrilling, because I wanted to contribute. I wanted to do my part. I wanted to help people. And then basically, it went from I wanted to help people, and I wanted to solve this game, and I wanted people to show how they can do it too, and how they can kind of follow what I'm following with a particular subject. It went to that to this is not fun for me anymore. The whole intent was fun, pure enjoyment, and when you get wrapped up in this mystery community, it gets really intense. It gets super serious, and you go from enjoying the game to it's a monogamous work, like your work at an office, and so, it wears on you personally. And then that's why I kind of just started, when I started my partnerships, I had been friends with Mr. President 40 well before I started a YouTube channel. I had found him on a GTA Online session. He was calling out a guy called the Black Blob, and I kind of told him where the guy was, and we kind of went from there, and the rest is history. He signed on board for my videos, and I started really incorporating him more into the funny collaboration videos. And I was noticing I was having more fun doing it. And so I wanted to do more and more and more and more until I kind of just outbroke my identity from a mystery hunter to a person who does comedy. And I wanted to make the game fun again. Let people enjoy the game for fun and laugh and enjoy themselves. And I think I did a really good job on my channel with that. And it was working. The problem is that what happened after year 4 and year 5 on the mystery. So over time, Wizzle, Trippy Commentaries, and then eventually Danny Coldblood, Not Point 4 for a little bit, Mr. Boss for the win. They kind of really outbranched and changed the direction of their channels as well. And so was Fearless Force. So was Danny Coldblood. You know, like I just said, everybody was changing their brand, and especially Wispy Woods significantly. Herbalist 40 gave up on it. He deleted his channel. I don't know all the details on why, but he did. And so this whole time of going through that epidemic with the mystery and just trying to crack and solve it and put the man hours in, you know, my time as a mystery hunter, it was bittersweet, because it went from a pure enjoyment to a very stressful environment. It wasn't fun anymore. And I think that's part of why you see now, and nowadays, you see Danny Coldblood playing Red Dead Redemption 2. You see Trippy Commentaries all about it. Mr. Boss for the Win covers Red Dead 2. That point 4 kind of went back to GTA 5. Wispy Woods, he went from mystery videos to videos where he was doing rapping. He's doing paid music. And you know, I don't put that down. I think that's great that he's inspired in fulfilling and following his dreams of, you know, being a professional rapper, you know, or exploring the rap game or whatever it is. But he kind of like he's doing his own thing. And then Fearless Force, he just stopped making videos. He just stopped. Period. He went on a rant for 3-4 months of live streams only, and then that was it. And then he posted randomly a video of this is what happens when you drink, and then a New Year's video, and that was it. That was the last of Fearless Force. And it was sad to see, because Fearless was a big voice in the community. Wizzle, another sad story. Wizzle had basically stopped making videos. He, at the time Black Ops 4 came out, he was following the Black Ops 4 kind of thing. And then he'd go back to GTA 5, and then he did a handful of videos on Red Dead Redemption 2, and then Wizzle just stopped making videos. And this is a YouTube channel that has over 100,000 subscribers. For him to just stop making videos was just a big complete shock and awe. Myself, I had stopped making videos for various reasons for a while. A lot of it was bad relationships. And, you know, I was enjoying and exploring other friendships that were leading my channel to a new direction. And, you know, with my own life personal circumstances, you know, those friendships had faded off and they had stopped altogether. Big falling out over controversy over a channel that had over 100,000 subscribers. Made a big tangent about me, and then he stopped making videos because he was flagged multiple times, and then eventually deleted, and the truth came out that this dude had been lying and making a lot of things up. And I was targeted because he was a friend of my friends who got mad at me. And so he wanted to jump on that bandwagon. So I had hater comments for a while, and then it went away. As soon as he was exposed, those went away. I got some apologies. I didn't get full closure with all my friends, and you know what? It hurt. But you know, you live and you learn, and that's life. And it sucks. And so now I am making videos no longer with my right hand man, Mr. President 40. It hurts to say that because I used to sit right over there in that chair, and Mr. President 40 would sit right there, and we'd do videos if we're just going to do some conversation. So my time as a YouTuber, as a GTA 5 Mount Chiliad Mystery Hunter, it was shitty at the end, but in the beginning I really loved it. You did all this research, you did all those times, and it was thrilling and it was fun. But when those clues just led to more clues and more clues and more clues and more clues, it kind of got to a point where you started to really doubt yourself. And I think that's what happened to the other YouTubers and why they were shying away from the Mount Chiliad Mystery. Now, I want to say this. If anyone who's an OG like me, who remembers the old Game Boys, and if you played Pokemon Gold, or the Hahu edition, or the Ho-Ho edition, you'll remember there was a story about a theory of a mystery in that game. That game ended up really did have a mystery. It had a huge Easter egg in it. And when I say mystery, if you didn't follow this whole time, if you're brand new to any of this, a mystery, the GTA 5 mystery is a huge Easter egg about a jetpack being in the game that we used to have in GTA 5 San Andreas. GTA San Andreas. We really need to learn this lesson from Pokemon. That game, that little Easter egg in that game, it took 20 years. It took 20 years to solve that mystery. And remember, these kids were kids when they found this. And they grew up researching this more and more and more. And it took them 20 years. They went from a kid finding this to solving this as an adult. Because they were dedicated to solving it. There were other games where it took 7 years and 8 years and 10 years to find the Easter egg in the game. And I think, you know, when you look at how long it took for them to make this game, you know, they took a good 8 years to make this game and outpoured an outrageous amount of money into the game to making this game. And I believe after all of that, I want to say because of the vastness and depthness that this game is, I think it's going to take a long time now. And especially with the intriguement of the Mount Chiliad Mystery and Grand Theft Auto 5 at that, because there's a whole new hype about Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out. Speculated to come out especially at the exact same time, or near around the time after the PlayStation 5 console comes out, which is rumored to come out at the end of next year. So that's going to do it for this video, if you will, this live stream or whatever it is, for you. Um, I wanted to talk about this because it's something that's not really talked about a lot about, and I don't really hear hunters talking about their time as a mystery hunter. You know, it was fun because we'd pack up and play online together, and we try to find things together in the game, and that's how I found my major discoveries, as I was with another person. And it's not just the jetpack mystery in this game. There's a lot of different little mystery eggs, you know, Easter eggs in this game that were fun to find and follow. And after all of it, guys, I'm glad I did it. It was an enlightenment to myself as a person. It helped me in tremendous ways personally. It introduced me to a lot of people and a whole new culture of life that I never thought I'd see myself invested in. And, you know, when this channel was very up and popping because of my consistency, you know, I got my first 100 subscribers in less than a month. Well, not less than, but a little, just over a month. A month and I got my first 100. And if you can appreciate that and understand how big that really is, then you can understand my frustration with my own life consistencies of problems of not being able to continuously upload. Because getting your first 100 is the hardest thing to do on YouTube. After you get your first 100, the rest just mountain up. And I speculate that by now, I would be over 100,000. And that's not to say that I'm not going to. I want to keep doing this, and it's just hard. It's hard. Because I am in unique circumstances, you know. I am an adult. I do have responsibilities. I am healthy enough to work, and I am healthy enough to provide for myself, and I hold myself to that standard. And I have to be able to maintain that balance of enjoyment and taking care of responsibility. And a whole other endeavor of relationships and friends and everything outside of YouTube. So I do my best, and so please bear with me. But anyway, that being said, I love you guys to death.
Hi there.
Thank you so much for watching this. If you watch this is like over a half hour. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate you hearing what I have to say. And I really hope that... Oh, hold on. I'll go out the old way. You guys really enjoyed this kind of video, and if you would, please give me your feedback, and I'll go out the old way with my old videos. Used to do all kinds of, numerous amount of times, right in front of the SS Diesel sign. Until next time, guys, peace.